Hi everyone, welcome to Cheltenham Chart 13. Quite a weekend of racing and a lot to go through. I hope you had a profitable weekend and enjoyed the racing that produced some amazing winners. I'm going to give you my view today on it, what I thought of it all, a couple of eye catchers, which finally were in the first race. I haven't had time to go back through the handicaps yet. And I'll just quickly run through the bets at the end and we can see how my bank is doing, because I do take the bank very seriously indeed, probably too seriously if I'm honest. So just getting straight on with it, we started the meeting with what looked a really strong race over 2 mile 6. And Galla Des Champs came from quite a way back to win it nicely. I thought he had a hard race, and I thought Willie Mullins, when he spoke after, thought he'd had quite a hard race as well. So while you take this win and think, yes, he's going to put it up to Bob Ollinger and Braveman's Game, just remember that this was quite a tough race, and it may take a little time to get over this because he was a bit out of his ground. He wasn't up with the leaders. And he may just take a little bit of time to get over this, but it was a fabulous performance. I thought the first 4 were all good horses. The second, third and fourth ran good Bartlett trials, I thought. And I was especially pleased to see our small bet, Gentleman's Game, come second. I thought he stayed on nicely. He got a little outpaced coming towards the last, but he stayed on nicely and he's beaten the rest. And out of the Bartlett runners, he's beaten Statler and he's beaten Fakira, who were first and second favourites. And I see no reason really why they don't go now to Cheltenham over 2 furlongs further. He'll have been in Mouse's care for another month by then, because let's not forget this horse was pointing this season and hasn't been in Mouse Morris's yard for a while. He was a big eye catcher, and I thought Fakira was too, but Fakira could be one of these annoying horses who just keeps getting running on. No matter what race he's in, he gets outpaced and he runs on, and I don't know, he was well backed on Saturday and he ran a good race, and he's certainly an eye catcher too. And in the mid-season videos, which I don't know if people watched, I put up Galla Des Champs for the Ballymore and I put up Fakira because I hadn't really thought about Gentleman's Game so much at the time. I put up Fakira for the Bartlett, but now I'm very much in the Gentleman's Game camp. I put him up as a small bet for the bank, and I think, in truth, the 14 to 1 available is very big in my eyes, and I did have another bet on him, but that does not mean that you have to. It's just that I was impressed with his performance. Chacun Pour Soi won the Dublin Chase. He's the rightful favourite. Something will have to go wrong for this horse not to win the Champion Chase, in my opinion. He is fragile, but he's been fit all season, and last season was just a freak accident when he didn't get there. So he's been quite sound for a while now, but he's never been to Cheltenham, and that's probably the only worry you have now. He jumped brilliantly. He strode away from the field, and although that was easier because Min wasn't there, I thought he was superb. And there's no other way of talking about that race. Energumen was pretty similar really, and he was in a fast time as well. He was another to produce a stunning performance on the day, and I think seriously that he shouldn't be as far away from Shiskin in the betting as he is. I think this is a bit of a close call, especially when Nicky's Yard not firing on all cylinders at the moment against a Mallinger horse who are absolutely knocking it out of the park. It could be quite a close race, and I wouldn't want to call this one. I thought Energumen was really impressive. I think if I had to nominate a performance of the weekend, it would be between Honeysuckle and Monkfish, even though there was some superb performances. I loved Honeysuckle. Now everyone knows from the videos from even last season how I'd fight her corner, but I don't have a penny on her this season. But I thought she was awesome yesterday. I expected her to win. I said on the weekend preview with Gary that I thought she would get it done with a £7 allowance, but I did not think she was going to win like this. This was quite sensational performance, really. I thought she was. I honestly thought she was pretty sensational on Saturday. And The only one blemish was that jump at the last when Rachel Blackmore let her steady into the last and she bungled it. And if she does that in a high class race when horses are closer to her, that could be really costly. So it's the only real negative I could see in her performance. But she's beat the best Ireland's got and she thrashed them. It was an awesome performance. The bumper, I don't really know what to say about the bumper, to be honest. Kilcrut, he won as he liked. I don't know. Sir Gerhard never ran. Let's be clear about it. There didn't seem any excuses for him. Ramili's ran a strange race, came cantering and then didn't seem to go through with it. I'm not really sure what happened. He cut out very quickly. It was a good performance. Was it a 6-4 for the bumper performance? Well, possibly it was. It's hard to say. I'm very biased on the horse. And I don't know really how to advise people going forward now. When we've had winning bets before, we've gone into the festival with them being the price they were or a little bit shorter. This is a huge decrease in price. If people want to cash out, I wouldn't say not to. If they wanted to lay off for their stake, I certainly wouldn't put them off doing that, or even taking some profit and leaving just a little bit the bet to run. That's entirely up to you. This was impressive, but he might even have harder rivals to face in Sir Gerhard and possibly Eileen Dover. But yeah, you couldn't help but be impressed. At Sandown, there were some strange decisions by Nicky Henderson. Henderson is renowned for having horses that aren't real soft ground, heavy ground plodders. And I don't understand why he ran Santini in that rearranged Cotswold Chase. Sandown is so different. I don't even understand why the Cotswold Chase was put to Sandown because it's such a different track to Cheltenham. It was pointless. But anyway, he didn't run a good race. It's the second time he's been to Sandown and not run well. And that's the second time this season that he's run on a track that really doesn't suit him. I know he needs a lot of work, but is this really getting a horse ready for a gold cap? I thought it was a strange decision. I'm not sure Nicky's Yard's in the top form, really. And I was impressed with Native River on the day. I mean, for a horse who won a gold cap all those moons ago, this was a very impressive performance. He's jumped him into the ground, and if it was really deep, with the way the gold cap's falling apart at the moment, he wouldn't be out of the question for a place in the gold cap, Native River. But it would have to be deep. But the gold cap is falling apart. I was not impressed with Santini, and there's not much more to say on Santini than that. The second strange decision from Nicky was Dame de Company, having won a two-runner chase over 2 miles on her chase debut, to go into a Grade 1 on deep ground was, to put it mildly, strange. And she'd made a mistake when she looked like she was coming into the race, and at the next fence she was brought down. But I don't think she was going to win or be involved in the finish. I think the mare's chase is a bit of a fanciful dream, if I'm honest now, and it looks like a poor bet. And I thought Paint the Dream ran well in this race. He was third, and he's maybe made Dickie Diver's handicap mark look quite good, so that might be quite good for that bet on the any race mark on Dickie Diver. But Sean Blue went out a bit too hard in this, I think, and set it up for a closer, and Sporting John came and nailed him late on. I was disappointed with Sean Blue. I think this could bottom him going too quick on this ground. I don't like horses running on Sandown's heavy ground, and I don't see Sean Blue or Sporting John putting it up 10 Voyal. And back over at Leopardstown, Quilixolos won well, but maybe it was the lack of a recent run, but I expected him to go away from the field, and he really didn't. He just kept his lead. I have Sanahir ahead of him. In my view, I think Sanahir's the more professional, the more solid horse, and I would back him for Cheltenham over Quilixolos. We then had Appreciate It. Now, controversial or not, I think Appreciate It's a short price at 7-4 for a Supreme. I just keep saying it. I think something might do him for speed, but he's won again. He's won 3 lengths. I thought Ballyadam ran better today. his jumping's catching him out again. I said right from the start in the Royal Bond that his jumping has to improve, and when he needed a good jump at the last, he's produced an awkward jump to the left and lost possibly a length and a half. He's only been beaten 3, and he can't do that at Cheltenham. He needs to brush up. I'm not sure he's ever going to get past Appreciate It, but he got closer today, and maybe if Elliott's in real rip-roaring form by then, that he could put it up to Appreciate It. I don't know what it is, what horse it is, but I think something might do Appreciate It on the day in the Supreme. I certainly wouldn't take 7 to 4, rightly or wrongly. We then went on to Monkfish, who was just simply awesome. I'll say something controversial now. I know Gary said that Royal Pagal could put it up to Monkfish. Well, I'll say this now. I think Monkfish could possibly win the Gold Cup this season if he ran. He never will in this season Gold Cup, but I honestly believe the performances he's putting in, I think he could challenge for the Gold Cup this season. The Gold Cup is absolutely falling apart. If he wasn't in Willie Mallon's yard, there's a possibility that other people may just take the risk with a novice chaser and go for it now. He was simply awesome today. I think he's a better favourite than Shiskin. I'm surprised he's still even money, and I really don't see even Éclat de Rire giving him much of a race. I thought he was superb. The one thing I will say about this race is if you've got a short price favourite, I don't know what jockeys are thinking about letting him have a 5-length start. Why would you do that when you know that you're going to struggle to beat that horse anyway? Why would you give it a 5-length start as well? So Monkfish, yeah, absolutely superb performance from him. The Irish Gold Cup, I think Manila Indo remembered his fall. He never jumped with fluency. He was never going to win for me. I was never happy with Manila Indo. Kenboy's won. I don't think he'll win a Gold Cup. He's had his big day. Delta Work was disappointing, I think. Mellon didn't seem to be put in the race. I almost felt like Mellon was out for a schooling session. I really found that a strange run, and he'll just be back in the Ryanair. But I really don't know what to make of Mellon. He jumped well, but he was never put in the race. And it was almost like they had a predetermined finishing order, and Mellon was not supposed to go near Kenboy in the race. I honestly felt like that during the race. Kenboy's won. I don't know what was going on with Mellon. He's obviously going to the Ryanair. And yeah, disappointment with Manila Indo. I just don't think he's remembered his fall, and they need to get his confidence back, but he can't win a Gold Cup losing the odd half length here and a length. He was gaining that in previous races, and now he's losing it, and he simply doesn't have the engine to make it up and go past horses after jumping like that. So it's disappointing. And in the bumper, Grangy paid a big compliment to Eileen Dover. Whether Eileen Dover goes to the bumper at Cheltenham, I don't know. They have said the mare's bumper at Aintree. She's a young horse, and I know a lot of people clamour to go there, but you have to think about a young horse who's possibly going on the flat, a young mare as well, possibly going on the flat. Do you really want to put it in against Sir Gerhard Kilcrut? Let's be clear about it. And the undulations of Cheltenham, when you've got a flat campaign possibly mapped out for it, I know that people will want to see the big clash, but maybe Pam Sly's right. Maybe she's wrong. Maybe she should go for it. Maybe with the allowances this horse could win. But Grangy won today. It was a decent race. Would I say they would beat the Geldings? I probably would say no, but I could be wrong. But they've had a big win, and the girl on top was obviously a huge win for her. I don't see Grangy winning the champion bumper myself. I haven't had a look at the handicaps. I will be honest, I haven't been back through to look for the non-triers. It's 3 winners from JP out of the 4, which is no surprise whatsoever. And that will be a continuing theme when we go to Cheltenham with him and Gigginstown and the plots from the big yards coming together to see who's got the best handicap mark on the day. I do have a handicapper from none of those that I'm looking at for a bet, and I may put that out next week. I want to check some things on it, and I need to get some money on it as well. On the bets, before I go, like I said, I try desperately to make a profit. The videos were made for 20 guys originally who follow racing as golf caddies. This was never, it's getting out of control with 800 odd and 1,000 views and things like that. But yeah, the bank, I want to make a profit so badly because my money's on for a start and I want to make a profit. And so the bets are Kilcroot, who's, he's short now. What you do with that bet yourself is up to you, really. Delvino, who won't go to Cheltenham, runs tomorrow. Even if she wins, I don't believe they're going to go to the Mayor's Novice. So really, it's irrelevant how she runs. And I'd quite fancy Castavetera to run a good race tomorrow, actually, who was second to Delvino. I mean, maybe I should hope she wins so that they may have a decision to make, but I was disappointed with her last time out as well. The third bet was Dickie Diver. His form took a bit of a boost yesterday with Paint the Dream. We don't know where he's going to go yet. The fourth bet was the disaster bet on Dame de Company, which I put up and made private quickly. I don't know if people backed it or not, but it has to count. 12.5% of the bank lost on a bit of a whim, and really disappointing. Really should be doing better than that type of bet. I should have waited till the next day, made sure I'd read the quotes from Henderson. Just thought it was a plot. It wasn't, and it's a bad loss. And Gentleman's Game, like I said, I've backed him again, even though I backed him at 25s. I backed him again at 14-1. I thought he'd done a good trial. I would think he would have a decent chance in the Bartlett, and I was impressed with his run. So that's all from me this week. Hopefully, well, at least the book doesn't look quite as bad as it did for the last few weeks. We have got a chance with a couple of runners, and we'll just have to see how things pan out over the next couple of weeks. I might be back with a bet later in the week. I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Hopefully you enjoyed the weekend's racing. If you can't enjoy the wins of Monkfish and Honeysuckle, then you're in the wrong game. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Hope you have a good week, and I'll be back to you maybe during the week where Auntie post handicap bet, and if not, I'll be back with Cheltenham Chat 14 next week. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.